Well everyone, it's time for us to go and take a look at the Samsung Galaxy Tab S9 FE and compare it against the iPad Air 11-inch, the M2 iPad Air that just came out, and see which particular device is the better one for you. Now, I will definitely tell you, for the average person out there, these two are very good tablets. They're very good machines. There could be a claim where you could say that the S9 FE is better than the M2 iPad Air, and there's probably a majority of people who probably would say the M2 iPad Air is better than the Tab S9 FE, but which one is the better one here? Well, let's go and take a look at that. If you want to pick up either one of these phones though, links will be if you want to pick up either one of these tablets though, links will be down in the description. You can get them from there and you can help support the channel at the exact same time. Now, starting off with the outside of both of these particular tablets, the big thing you have to keep in mind here is that both these tablets are very, very good. The Galaxy Tab S9 FE on the front has a 10.9-inch IPS LCD panel on the front. It's a 90Hz panel, and overall, it's a very good looking device, right? I think the panels themselves are very good, and there really isn't too much to complain about here with these types of panels, as I mentioned before. So I do think that in and of itself is a very, very big thing to keep in mind. It's a very good panel, looks very good, and not too many issues on here for the most part. Now, on the M2 iPad Air, this is another very, very big thing to kind of keep in mind here too, because this is also basically an 11-inch liquid retina IPS LCD panel. Very high resolution. The pixels per inch are slightly higher on the M2 iPad Air, but the brightness is a little bit different on both, but also you're getting a 60Hz panel here. So it is a better display, but you're not getting as high of a refresh rate. So that always is kind of a downside in some ways. And that is kind of a big downside in my personal opinion here as well. But I probably would say that the resolution on the iPad Air 2 is really nice, or the iPad Air 6 is nice, but I kind of do like the S9 FE in some ways. Both have USB Type-C ports on the bottom, which is great. The Tab S9 FE actually does have expandable storage here, which is a really, really nice thing to have. And I take that back, there is no expandable storage on the S9 FE, so keep that in mind. On the backside, you are getting your camera setups here, which again is very nice to have. Single cameras, we'll talk about that in a second. And beyond that, there really isn't anything super crazy that like one device can do that the other one can't. Very similar type of layout, very similar type of experience for the most part, but that's kind of how both these kind of compare from that side as far as I can tell. Now, some other things to keep in mind is from the camera perspective. So you are getting, varying cameras on these things. So the back of the Tab S9 FE is giving you an 8 megapixel wide angle camera, and the back of the iPad Air 2 or iPad Air 6 is the 12 megapixel wide angle camera. So the Tab S9 FE can do 4K at 30 on the front, and I think it can do 1080p on the on the front side. So 4K at 30 on the back, 1080p on the front. The M2 iPad Air can do 4K at 60 on the front and 1080p at 60 on the back. It can do 4K at 60 on the back and 1080p at 60 on the front. Funny enough though, you are getting 12 megapixel ultra-wide cameras on the front side, which again is very nice to have, but I probably will tell you in some ways that a device like the M2 iPad Air camera is probably better than the Tab S9 FE. I've noticed this for quite a bit of time. You're probably almost always going to get better types of experiences from those types of devices on that type of panel, with the camera like on the iPad than a Tab S9 FE variant. So again, just kind of keep that in mind, but that's just one other thing to kind of keep in mind here as well. Now, on top of that, another very big thing here too is the fact that both these phones are very, very interesting when it comes down to their software longevity. With the M2 iPad Air, this is going to be a longer lasting iPad in probably every single way you can imagine than the Tab S9 FE. I'm not really too sure how long the S9 FE is going to last. I hope it lasts forever, but that's probably not going to be the case. Maybe like another 3 years of software updates or something like that. But again, it's not going to last forever, and it's not going to last for at least as long as the M2 iPad Air is going to last. The M2 iPad Air has a much longer lasting time ahead of it, and that's just kind of what ends up happening. So if that kind of makes you sad, you might want to consider going up and moving up to something like the M2 iPad Air in this case, because that one is going to be a longer lasting iPad here than the Tab S9 FE. So from that side, just another one of those things to keep in mind. And from the performance side, you're getting the M2 iPad chipset inside of the M2 iPad Air, where the Tab S9 FE is giving you the Exynos 1380 chipset inside. So in my personal opinion, you are probably going to be getting a way better chipset inside of the M2 iPad Air than the Tab S9 FE. And this is basically what goes on every single time. With a device like the Tab S9 FE, this is going to be a very good device, but even on the maxed out RAM variant of the S9 FE, you're still the same as the, M2 iPad Air. So why not just go buy an M2 iPad Air at this case is, what I'm kind of saying. So I'd probably tell you there's a lot of cases and a lot of reasons why you could switch up to something like an M2 iPad Air, and get a way better device, but that's just kind of how I see it. A device like the M2 iPad Air, I think, is the better one. The Tab S9 FE, I think, is very good for some people, but I probably will tell you buying the M2 iPad Air would make the most amount of sense in my personal opinion. So from that side, that kind of covers it up here for the most part. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.